Welcome to Forever Exiled. I'm Justin, aka Tags.
And I'm Tyler, Wrecker of Days.
It's going to be a rough one. Welcome to episode 281 of Forever Exiled. We're here. That's it's gonna take.
I added a couple extra notes to our very, very small generic template.
Did you?
And Justin is sick today.
Yeah.
And typically, if you've ever seen the really crappy but pretty funny show Anchorman, there's the joke about Ron Burgundy just reading whatever it is that's in front of him. Doesn't matter what it is, he reads it flat out. Well, we joke that that's Justin, and I added a few notes.
Did you?
To today's very generic template, and
but he may just
Justin's gonna have a rough time because he's sick, and there's new stuff, and that just doesn't normally go over very well.
Yeah, big shout out to our Patreon supporters. Thank you, Ryan, for joining up this week into our Patreon, and everybody who resubbed up. We love your faces. Patreon gets access to our After Dark, which is it's another podcast. Where Tyler and I keep talking, and sometimes, like last week, it's not even PoE related. Sometimes it's all PoE. You just never know.
Actually, Justin tried to throw in some PoE content in there, and I refused.
Did I? I think at the end I was like, should we say something PoE? And then we're like, nah, see ya.
Nope, I already wrote the description, and it said we didn't touch on PoE, so you know.
Oh, that's why.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, 281. Also, just a reminder, we have a great Discord. If you're not in there, pop in there and say hello. And Global 2121. That's where we reside in game. So if you want to join with a bunch of people, like-minded people, that's where we are. Yeah. How was your week? I'm sorry, am I missing stuff? Go ahead.
Did you shout out our patron?
Obviously.
Ryan?
Yeah.
Was I completely zoning out that whole time? You're the sick one and I didn't hear it. Well, Ryan, I'm sorry I missed your thanks or our thanks to you. We love you very much, Ryan.
Yeah, thanks so much to all of our patrons. You rock. People are still getting their cards. They're in the mail.
Yeah.
Everything's in the mail now.
I wonder. There's been some people that have never received their cards, and they're at the mercy of a mail person, like having a good day, bad day. Well, yeah, you too. But
that too.
No, like they're having like the mail person's having a bad day, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna stick it to the man, and like throws out all their letters for the day or something stupid. And
just thinking out loud though, while we're talking about this, I don't think I ever sent out that second card that you wrote for Michael. I think it was. I gotta find it. It will. I don't know where. I have literally been dead this whole week. So,
but there were 5 cards altogether.
Yeah.
Did you individually separate them and lose them individually on purpose?
What happened specifically was that I got the stamps required, but we had one additional card that I had forgotten about that had gotten thrown in there that was an extra that you did. And so I figured I'd just send the one to Michael and get Michael's to him later so that I could send that additional card that we were sending out. So,
and now it's lost in translation.
It's in my car. It will go out, but Michael, it's awesome. You're going to get another one later. So
lucky Michael.
How was your week?
That was good. Hey, what do you think? You keep this in, that's fine. Yeah. You've been doing a lot of chapters with our stuff, right? You've been trying to get like apathetically, but kind of not. You've still been putting in a lot of work
to make sure I know where PoE starts.
Right. Mm-hmm. But you've been putting a lot of work in with like AI to do the work for you so that you don't have to. What do you think about just not doing chapters anymore? And if people want chapters, they can go to Spotify.
Well,
then you don't have to worry about doing the work. And then we get to encourage people, because just for anyone that's a new listener, we're actually an audio only podcast. We put our show on YouTube because we have a couple really long-term listeners that even though they're YouTubers, we still like them. No, but like that was their preferred platform, and it didn't cost us anything, like no skin off our back, I should say, to, do that for them. So we did, but we're technically an audio only podcast.
With the odd video one splattered in there once in a while. YouTube represents like a tiny percentage of how many people listen.
But my point,
I know what your point is.
For the sake of chapters, we could just tell people, if you want chapters, that's nice. Go to Spotify.
There's a lot of people that don't like Spotify.
Okay.
The benefit is the chapters, once they're created and added to the description, work across all platforms. So that's why I do it. You know why I do it, Tyler? Because I love chapters. I love giving people exactly what they want.
It's either they got to be right or they got to be really wrong.
But you never know what you're going to get. Sometimes they're amazingly right. And it's kind of like, oh, this week sucks. But then there's some weeks where you're like, what happened there. But yeah, we roll with them. I do try to add in one specifically for when PoE starts, just because there are some weirdos that don't like to listen to the two of us have our personal conversations. And I mean, all right. But it's there. We make it for
Why would you come to us for Path of Exile talk?
I love seeing the random comments where like, I don't care about your dog and your family. It's like, then fuck off.
Yeah, just go
like,
to the
I'm
next
not making my podcast for you. This is for me and Ty. We're having fun. Anyway,
yeah, but so
earmuffs,
for
Sophia.
new people. Justin's sick. Yeah, sorry, Christina. Justin. So anyway, but yeah, no, we're just two buds having a conversation, talking to each other about the world of PoE, and also catching up as two buddies from our week. So
we always have a good time. So that's all we care about.
If you're new,
how was your week though?
Yeah, you've asked me that a few times now.
Happy birthday. I would sing, but I feel like garbage and I would probably pass out. But happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you, my friend. It literally is today. It's not like the birthday week.
No,
and all month you've been making it seem like this is
you're a big birthday month person.
That's me. That's right. Everybody look at me. No, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. I am now officially, as of 3/33. I like to pretend that I was born on a rep digit, even though it's technically 15.
Are we 43 this year?
Yeah, we are turning 43 this year. Pretty nuts.
You're old.
Well, think about it. If you die before 80, like let's say you die in your 70s, right? Like my dad died. I think he was 70 when he died. Early. Like you've still lived a good life. You got to see grandkids, but it's early. But if you live to see 80, that's pretty good.
It's all right.
Right. Like longer. You know. Yeah. Well, like you get plus 80 and you're happy to be in your walker. You're doing great.
No,
you're definitely
got healthy. Come on.
You got the humpback slouch, no matter what you've been doing for a living when you moved to Canada and doing the farm. And of course, well, yes, if
by the time we get up
80, there, right. Yeah. Right. 43 to 80. That maybe, there's
a lot of advancements that can happen in that time.
90, it's like, okay, like, the difference between cancer and a broken hip, it's all the same. Right? Yeah. It's just like you're 90. So, and no. Just, something to be thankful for. Right. So anyway, my point is I'm over halfway there and I'm only 2 years. You're only 2 years, but you're like way younger than me. 2 years away from being at the halfway point to 90 is my point. Like,
I mean, that's still good. We've had good lives so far. Think about doubling how long we've lived. That's still not bad.
Flying planes. No,
I'm going
flying
for triple,
cars. Flying planes.
Flying planes.
Have you seen? Yeah, no.
All right. Well, how was your
around the riverbed? I had a good week, man. It was good. My dog, and so I want to thank everybody. There's been some wonderfully kind messages across. Just thank you everybody for your very kind messages, whether they're no matter what they're about. It's been a very edifying week, and I thank you very much. We have a lot of long-term faithful listeners where we're just all close now. You know what I mean? It's not like we're a bunch of strangers. I mean, obviously, it's a big community, so there are some, but there's a lot of the people that interact with the community and comment every now and then where we've been seeing their name we started this in, was it December 2019 or January? Yeah. No, it was January 2019.
Yeah, it was 2019. Right. Yeah, early.
So it's either been 5 or 6 years. I forget if it was the December or January of 2019, but it's been like a long time where we've been with these people. So
it was a couple months in before we started the Discord up, but yeah, it's been a long time, which is awesome.
So we're quite close. These people are good friends, and so I really appreciate the kind messages. My dog, who I've referenced a few episodes ago, that we've been not wanting to put down, but waiting to put her down. This stupid thing keeps on hanging on. But she had like these 3 like seizure things within a week and a half, whether they were seizures or whatever. But she made full recoveries with each one. She's been totally fine ever since.
Good. How's she doing right now? She's still
totally
good?
Fine.
Awesome.
We have an appointment to take her to the vet today because she actually has this out of nowhere massive growth on one of her eyelids.
Yeah.
Which has been growing a lot. So we just got to make sure that's but we're not like, it's at that awkward stage where like we were expecting to put her down 2 weeks ago. So how much money are we going to throw into?
For sure.
Right. So it's just,
especially for how long
does it hurt her a lot? Yeah. And then you're at that awkward stage where it's like, oh crap.
What do you do?
Right. Like Aaron and I, like we are dog people. Riley, our dog, is part of the family. Like it's going to suck. And we pray like for the dog to just die in her sleep. Don't make us choose. Don't make us do this. Right. Because if like, let's say this growth on her eyelid, which is really big, is hurting her a lot,
yeah, then that's different.
but it's going to be like $1,000 to fix it, but the dog's going to die in a month, maybe. Like,
yeah.
Do you put the dog down because of the eye thing?
Well,
just
but
because
the thing is,
like,
even
you don't
got
have the money, it's
fixed,
just
you may not stop the pain. Like, I think for dog, like for me at least, I mean, I joke about our dog, but the fact is my dog's with us and I'm stuck with it and it is part of the family. But I feel like if a dog's in pain, then you start making those decisions because it's not like, I agree. It's way easier. I remember having to put my dog down when I was our family dog. I don't remember how old I was, but I was the one that had to go in and do it. And it's not fun. It's not a fun experience. So having a dog where it can pass away, I guess, in its sleep, especially if it's not in pain, that would be great. I don't know how often that actually happens, though.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, we've visited the vet often enough, and every now and then you see a family sobbing. They're holding a big blanket, right? And they go in. They have the side door. You know, the death and doom little office.
They bring in a dog that's passed away.
Yeah, and so we've seen that often enough in our 30 years of pet ownership, right? So, I mean, it happens. I just, it sucks to make that choice, and then you're making that choice because you're thinking it's the end. You're pretty sure it's the end, but it's an unrelated situation that you're putting the dog down for.
Versus like time.
Well, yeah, I'm not spending like Aaron and I joke, and so far we've been actually very good with it with our money. But we joke like each pet gets one splurge of money. Vet wise, right? So Riley already used hers up 2 years ago, year ago. She like in one of the grates in the backyard scraped her leg. It went straight down to the bone, and so we spent like $1,200 fixing that.
I've been paying for insurance for our dog since we've had it, and we've never used it.
Yeah, we never opted for insurance with our stuff.
It's more expensive than my life insurance. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Chica's just got it made and doesn't even know. Anyway. To answer your question, I've had a great week. Like, it's back to like cool springtime weather. The Arctic, we don't get like winter without Arctic winds, which is really frustrating, but whatever. So I didn't actually get a nice winter, but I've discovered I don't like winter anymore. I used to love winter. I don't like.
We went out last week, and you're like, I hurt. I don't like this.
Everywhere, my whole body, every aspect of my body hurts, and because I deal with concussion stuff, like I can't afford like small slips or little judders, like when you like just miss a stair and you kind of like jam on the next stair, like that screws me for like 3 days with like how it jams my head and just, so anyway, but like, so like winter stuff, you slip, right? You can't tell where the curb is. Yes. Push down farther in the snow, all that kind of crap. So I've just decided I'm like, nope, no more winter and bring on global warming. Not, don't get too busy. It was just a joke. But I've had a great week. It's been full of love and kindness and compassion. And I did. So last thing, Path of Exile players will know what a love-hate relationship is like. Whether they've had a real love-hate relationship in their life, I don't know. But if you've played Path of Exile, you know what a love-hate relationship is like. You hate parts of it. You love it. You quit because of rage quit. And then you're like back at it the next day, even though you said you'd never play again and all this kind of stuff. So before Path of Exile existed, Electronic Arts has been around for a long time, and you can have any love-hate. You pick a game, love-hate relationship with almost any EA game that exists. Well, Madden was that for Ryan, Ian, and I, even Chris for a long time.
Custom playbooks. Oof, don't get Tyler started.
Snick, Ned. And you got it? That was good. Lightning 56. So anyway, I quit like permanently for a long time. Reason? But I basically retired.
Just because you were done with it. Yeah, okay.
A professional athlete that doesn't know how to retire. So I reinstalled Madden 25 this week.
Yeah, and?
Ryan, Ian, and I are starting a league. And Erin was joking. She's like, you guys are like, it's like going back to an abusive relationship.
Yeah,
it's like you guys are going to hate it. Hate it in 2 seconds. Yeah. And so, it was a good lame old Tyler week, and I loved it, man. How about you? Somebody kicked the crap out of you, hey? What's going on?
Well, we had Maya was sick last week when we talked. She had been home all week because she had a fever we couldn't control, and we ended up having to get her onto antibiotics. And then she turned around real quick. Well, on Saturday last week, so after we recorded Friday or Saturday, Sophia came down with the same thing and like uncontrollable fever. We could not, and she's the one who had febrile seizures, so we were obviously, I mean, she's 10, so you feel like, okay, she should be outgrowing it, but there's still like the back of your mind where you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
totally.
Jesus, it's terrifying. So, so we were dealing with her and that, and then Logan got hit with it. And then on, I think by Sunday, I got hit with it. And, you know, like low grade fever, just feeling like crap, like whatever. But I started drugging myself like I would. And by Tuesday, I was like, all right, I can manage this. Like, I think I've almost kicked this. Idiot. Thinking 3 days later, you're done. I go to bed Tuesday, what was it? I think it was Tuesday morning. No, it was Wednesday. Wednesday morning, I wake up at 4:00 in the morning, and I just wake up like wide awake. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, do I need to go to the washroom? Like, I don't feel like anything. So I go into the bathroom. Within 30 seconds of getting up out of bed, all of a sudden I must have woke up and actually realized what was going on. My entire body was sweating. I was aching everywhere. Like, I was like, Christina was even like, did you make sure you took your pill? I'm like, yes, I took my pill. So this is not that. And just got hit with this fever and aches and just incredible sinus pain. And this is such a bad week to get sick too, because this is a really busy week up until Monday, like next Monday, like next week. So yeah, I had to cancel all my stuff on Wednesday. Thursday, I didn't do anything. Wednesday was the first day where I've actually said to people, like, I'm not available. Don't message me. I had one guy message me and I'm like, cool idea, but right now I'm drugged out of my mind. I don't even know what you're talking about. So let's talk about it next week. But yeah, I just get wrecked me, man. So I did end up doing do you remember when Christina got sick? I talked to you about this thing called was it BetterHelp, Get Maple or something? It was like a thing where you could pay to talk to a doctor because drop-ins.
Yeah. You never said what it was, but yeah, you said that you did that.
It was called Get Maple. Anyway, it was $80. It was expensive, especially for that one-time thing. Yeah, per month. So I only did it for the 1 month just so I could get Christina what she needed. She had a sinus infection at the time. And but I was talking to our HR lady and she's like, your insurance, our insurance gives you this thing called Teladoc. And I'm like, okay, I'll try that out. So I did that yesterday and now I'm on some stuff to try and help it. So she said if I follow all the steps, I should feel better in the next 2 to 3 days. That was yesterday. So I'm hoping by Monday.
And Steve from the back of a van picked up the phone. He's like, hey, yo, what's up?
Yeah, hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, if you can write me a prescription,
perfect. So, because I've got events. What day is today? Friday. I've got events tomorrow and Monday that I have to go to. So I'm hoping this stuff kicks in. But yeah, it was just a garbage week, man. I spent Wednesday and Thursday. I tried, like, I wanted to play some farming simulator. I could not sit down at my desk. I just was feeling like garbage. So spent a lot of time in my bed.
Energy to stand or anything. Eh?
No, and then I also had kids sick too. So like trying to take care of them, and Christina had to take some days off, and yeah, it was just it was a garbage. It was a garbage feeling week. But good news is my kids today is their first day back to school. They're all feeling awesome. So like Sophia, we finally got control of her fevers. Logan's fevers, we got control of his stuff.
And so I guess you missed the parent-teacher conferences. Where did Christina go? Christina went. I was like, first off, I'm not going to get somebody sick. Also, I don't care. Like, they're fine. I know my girls are good. I know things are fine. Yeah. We hadn't met the grade 5 teacher yet, so Christina did go and meet her. Nice. But otherwise, yeah, it just it was a pretty lazy week in general. It was nowhere near as busy for work because I just couldn't do anything. But what it's meant is that this weekend is a nightmare for me now because I've got 2 big events that I'm not prepped for yet. So that sucks.
Whatever. I was going to laugh.
Be thankful you're not here because I've been fighting a woodpecker all week.
Oh,
and
the noise?
Coming back today, so I had to go to the hospital today to drop off some stuff, right, for tests. And then, I came back around the same time. My wife was off today, so she brought the kids to school and we kind of arrived home at the same time. So this week, there's been a woodpecker in love with our house. That's in love. So and it happens every now and then. Oh, it is. But it's not
with the metal.
Just like it is.
Yeah.
It's always the metal on the house somewhere. And I'm like, it's 5:30 30!
Yeah. Ours is right above our master bedroom too, so it's so annoying.
It is, and
you
it's
can put
just
like little fake owls apparently on the roof, and that will stop them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them in the area. You can see them as after you like start noticing them. You're like, oh man, everybody has them except for me.
That's why they're coming.
But
to
I
you.
have a broom outside, so that I just go out on the deck and I like go bang, 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 bang on the rim of the the deck roof is in the house roof. It does for the most part, but then a little bit later in the day
comes back,
which is always when I'm napping. It's always when I'm sleeping. Like I always think it's the kids doing something stupid with their toys, but then I realize they're at school or they're not even awake yet, or like my daughter's sitting next to me playing on a tablet while I'm napping, and I'm like, Milo, what are you doing? She's like, Dad, it's not me, it's the woodpecker. So I go back outside and bang, 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 bang. Anyway, when I came back today from the hospital, I heard a woodpecker. Not on my house. I think it's moved on to a new house, and I heard it, and I'm like, yes. Suck on that, neighbor. I love my neighbors, but suck on that, neighbor. That's it's not my house anymore. So anyway, I'm glad you're not dealing with a woodpecker while you're trying to get all your sleep. I probably
could have slept through it because I really struggled to nap. Actually, I tried because I was so tired, but I could not fall asleep. I couldn't. I've always had a problem with napping though, and it's even worse when I'm not able to work because then that's all my head's thinking about. I wanted to share something funny with you. So we've had jokes in Discord with regards to the podcast, and we don't do sponsorship, and unless Scott's or some lawn care company comes by,
let's probably not find a goofy one.
Yeah, you probably won't hear too many sponsors from us. And so I was joking with them about like some of the silly ones that we get requested for. I think the last one was some anime video game where they were like wanting to give us keys and then to talk about it. Anyway, we do get those all the time, but that's why you don't hear about them in these games or in this podcast. But I got a really funny one this week. Forever Exiled is featured in FeedSpot top 3 Path of Exile podcasts. And so this person introduced themselves as the founder. I want to personally congratulate your podcast, Forever Exiled, has been selected by our panelists as one of the top 3 Path of Exile podcasts on the web. And then it goes through this whole thing about how you can go here and click your stuff and you can share it with your people, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, there's 3? And so I clicked the link just out of curiosity, and they only have 2. It's us and Faded. So congratulations, Baylor and Kat. We all made the top 3 list.
Yeah, that's right.
There's only 2, but anyway,
2 racers in this Olympics, and we both made the podium.
Yeah. Very clear that this person did not actually send out that email because they would have known that there were not 3 podcasts. Yeah. So all right. What do we got this week in PoE?
Yeah, look at that. PoE
Path
talk, 23 minutes
starts in. Now. Android AI system.
You use ChatGPT, right?
Mm-hmm.
I find the Google Home Assistant is the dumbest.
Getting dumber and dumber.
Dumb. It is.
After you've used ChatGPT and other things. Yeah.
But Gemini, great. Like when I use my phone.
Yeah, Gemini's good. Mm-hmm.
Gemini's great. We used to have the upgraded version too when we were dealing with needing more storage space, but we've downgraded back to the light version or whatever it is. Still, it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I asked, because we were dealing with like unique bell schedules the last few days, I just asked Gemini when my kids are getting out of school, and it told me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was right. I double checked it ahead of time to make sure. I asked the Home Assistant, and it's like,
God, dude,
please verify your voice.
I don't understand. I don't know.
So stupid. Yeah. So anyway, it's been. I'm really curious what you have to say about this Path of Exile week.
So, can I just say one thing about it?
You say anything you want, and I'll
I was just scrolling through our Discord because I have been way behind on it, and I don't even remember which channel it was in, but the event already started.
It started yesterday.
I saw the post and I was like, oh, it's starting. And I clicked on it. I'm like, February 20th. Huh. I feel like that's already passed. I had no idea it was
even
starting.
Tweeted out, hey, just as an FYI, yes, we know the 20th is a Thursday. And yes, that's correct. It starts on a Thursday because they normally start on Friday PST.
I thought they were doing some sort of like announcement thing for when this was going to come out. No,
they did.
Was
not a video. They weren't doing a video.
Okay. Well, whatever. So it started. It's already live.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Hope people are having a great time.
I did check out of curiosity. You can't do anything private league yet with them. So.
Oh, that wasn't me. That.
Yeah,
phone,
what was that?
That wasn't me. My wife left her phone down here. I'm on D&D. I did it. I was wondering. That's the second time it's happened.
That's
Erin
awesome.
left her phone
she
down
did it
here
on purpose.
Oh, she probably did. What a dick.
So,
No,
okay,
dink,
so
dink. Referencing last
careful.
week's podcast.
I don't
Dink.
remember what happened last week.
Earmuffs, Justin's kids.
Was that I don't remember. Anyway.
Oh yeah, the Dick Dink was that was just After Dark. I just listened to it this morning. Oh my,
okay.
That After Dark. I'm not trying to like do self promo. Seriously, man, it made me laugh so hard, nonstop. I know you got to no, you got to start remembering these things. It was about Sienna Miller's dating history and layered cake. And,
I remember layered cake.
Oh, we had no, you don't. We had so
Great
much
movie.
fun. I thought it was hilarious. Anyway, this week in PoE, go.
Yep. Well, so I just saw there's some patches. Oh, they brought out the stash tab, which is cool. I haven't played Path of Exile 2 since they brought out the changes to controller that we talked about. So I haven't seen this part yet with the stash tab, but that's good. I'm glad that it's there. I don't know how it functions.
I'm curious how it goes because it'd be nice to set more rules to it. I obviously haven't played with it yet, but the map stash tab Justin's referencing for Path of Exile 2. So it's the Waystone stash tab.
Mm-hmm.
They organize it by tiers, but they have sub tabs within there
for each tier,
like 5, so that you can like organize
6
them any way you want.
Stashes.
Sure, but I'm curious, like you can't automate that.
Yeah, I assume
like if you want to go with normal, magic, rare, like you have to still like your affinity system doesn't work then. Yeah. Would it? Like you would still have to manually go in and click, this one's rare, and I need to switch it over. So cool.
Maybe they change that. Maybe that's something they come out with later.
I hope. But I'm curious what having multiple tabs does for the user when the affinity system is supposed to remove the insane micromanagement.
I would assume they have plans for that, and that's why.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe it's just, maybe it's kind of like,
do we know that there's no affinities within those substashes? Like, because I haven't
not officially. No, okay. I haven't turned them on. So hopefully there are. But I saw it in the video. They were making an example where they turned one of those sub tabs to the yellow gold rare color.
Sure.
And then they just typed in rare. So if you're typing in rare, I doubt you can have. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But maybe it's one of those things where it's like, okay, we can only fit 72. I'm just throwing out a random number because I think that's what it was like for the mapped stash tab in PoE 1, but you can only have 72 tabs here in this screen, but that's not enough. So why don't we give them multiple sub tabs within? Mm-hmm. And then, now they can have like 500 and whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe that's what they did. And they just did that for us. So we had more space. And then they came up with the idea, well, hey, maybe they already have tabs. Let's make it a little bit more customizable for them. Right. And so so it could just be the best of both worlds. And if that's the case, then that's really cool and awesome. But I'm curious to see if there's no affinity with the sub-tab system. I'm really curious to see how people go about managing their tabs, if they even bother. You know what I mean? Because it does require.
I think most will do it.
Yeah.
I think what they will do is use what is it called? Regex. And so not the super easiest thing to do with your own controller, but where you can put in the regex for the type of things. Well, you can't on
console.
Yeah. Well, you could with console if you know how to type it, but that's what I would think is that you could put in the regex and then you could scroll through the different tabs to find the ones that you're looking for, which at least is something. At least I assume it's searchable within the thing. But at least it's there. 576 waystones to be able to store for each tier is great. So yeah, at least it's out. I'm glad that it's out. That's awesome.
So let's see. They came out with the stash tab, the Waystone stash tab for PoE 2.
Mm-hmm.
They came out with a bug, a patch, which was nice, and then a hotfix for it. One of the things on there, that patch, of course, included the map stash tab. There was just say generic the performance adjustment for Xbox, which seemed generic, but interesting. Yep.
Yeah, that is interesting. I wish that when they had put out the thing about the stash tabs that they said somewhere that your map stash was going to carry over if you had purchased it. Did they? Okay, good.
Yep.
Was it in the video or where did they say that?
No, it was not in the video.
It's just written at the bottom. I see it here. If you own any map stash tabs in Path of Exile 1, these will now be available to you in Path of Exile 2. Okay, well, that's good. Yeah. I just saw a lot of people that had purchased it again, not realizing, but it did sound like support was amazing at refunding them, which kudos to GG support.
Mm-hmm. And then they, so let's see, there were 2 patches, the map stash tab, and then, of course, Path of Exile 1.
Have you seen a performance adjustment on Xbox? Did you ever try it? Okay.
No. I'm waiting for...
You didn't have performance issues, though.
Well, I have an X and an S, and there are situations where there's definitely performance issues based on monsters and their skills kicking around.
I don't remember you ever saying anything about performance.
No, it's just like it was probably something it didn't even cross my mind. Like I'm used to performance issues in Path of Exile on the Xbox, so it probably didn't even cross my mind at the time. But when I read that, I'm like, oh, good. Yeah, no. And then all of a sudden stuff started popping into my mind. I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. So S is the one that needs it, of course, right? The like really fine-tuned coding to make things smooth just because of the weaker machine, because you can definitely tell the difference between an X and an S on some busy aspects of other games too, right? So 2 things this week though, just so like you said, whatever the Phrecia, Paprika started this week.
That's cool.
Yesterday.
I hope people are having fun with it.
I'm probably going to play a bit tonight.
Nice.
And
well, if you stream it maybe tonight, I'll watch you if I'm not feeling like garbage.
All right, cool. But Path of Exile also announced a race event for Path of Exile 2. Did you see that?
I saw the I clicked on the link you had shared. Yeah. First race event while they wait for 0.2.0.
What do you think of that?
I think it's cool. They used to do that with the beta in PoE 1. I think it's cool because it gives people a reason to just try something new. I mean, the fact is there's not new content right now. So if you've kind of played through and done your thing, it's a fun thing to just give people something to do. And they used to do that with the original beta. I remember playing in them a few times. I have a buddy who won a couple of the, what do they call those things? The demigods. So yeah, it's fun.
Okay. Do you think they get anything out of it?
No, is there not data-wise?
No, you don't think that. You think this is just for us. This isn't something that benefits them. And I'm not saying it from a selfish perspective. I'm hoping that it benefits them because to me it seems like,
whoa, that's pretty cool. The award for who gets first in the final race, which is going to be held on March 16th. A PoE 2 laptop. That's fun. I don't think they get anything out of it. I think it's mostly just to keep people with some reason to play or to try something, or I can't imagine. I mean, I'm sure they get some stuff out of it, but I don't know what. I can't think of anything that they would. So I think it's fun because it just gives people another reason to come back and play it.
Okay. And you played the beta for the first game as well. You don't think that this is a statement or a testament to their opinions to the current build of the game? They're just doing this for us and they're still working on whatever they're working on?
100%, yeah.
Like, in other words, I'm saying like, my first thought, but I'm not like saying this is what they think. It's just, this is my first thought. And then of course, common sense kicks in and you start thinking about it. And of course, opinions change immediately in one's own mind. But my very first thought was, oh my goodness, I really hope they don't think that their game is in a good state right now, that they're willing to do this, like pretend that it's not in beta. Right. Yeah. And that was my initial thought.
Sure.
And of course, I'm not, well, not of course, but I currently don't think that at all. But I'm not the only one that would think that right off the bat. And there's probably some people that do think that, like, oh man, I really hope they don't think that their game is in like a full release date or that they're comfortable with it. People that maybe aren't used to betas or not used to PoE betas because they weren't in the original one like you. So you don't think, as somebody that's been around for that long, that it's a testament to their opinion to their game at all? They're just doing something for us?
They used to do this with PoE 1. We went through it in multiple stages as they came up with updates. They ran different races. I think it was what sort of started the whole race season thing that they went through and then failed to continue. So I hope they don't do that again. I hope that these are just one-off fun things, but they don't give you some sort of, like, there used to be a bar as you competed in them, you would get XP and you could unlock different unique MTX stuffs. I hope they don't do that because they have shown they don't have the capacity to maintain that long term. So if these are just one-off fun events, I think they are really good in the sense of it gives some exposure to different ways people play the game. It's kind of a fun reason to get people to come back. And I don't think it has anything to do with them thinking that the game is in the greatest state. I mean, I think the fact is you're going to see a lot of the same types of characters playing. When you're talking solo self-found rush to Act 3, there are some classes that are just going to be a little bit harder to do that. You're talking about no uniques, just what you can find. So I think they're very aware of the fact of where their game's at. And this is just, they used to do it with PoE 1. It was a fun thing to do. And I remember in PoE 1 when we used to do them, like, I can't remember what, I wish I could remember, but I do remember one league when we did it. I did it with a buddy, this race. And I don't know if it was Templar or Ranger. I think it might have been Ranger. Everybody was a Ranger just because it was the fastest at that time at that state of what the beta was in. That was the class to try and level quickly.
Well, that's what racing in PoE 1 is like. You're not getting a variety of builds. You're getting like 3 different skills that people are using in combo because people know that's just, if you want a speed level, that's how you do it, right? And so, I mean, this is the one situation, a race where PoE 2 and PoE 1 are in the same state, you guess could say, because like one of my criticisms, of course, to the current state of Path of Exile 2 is there's a lot of archetypes that you just can't play. There's, it's a very restricted RPG experience. You know what I mean? Obviously that'll change, right? I just know that that's the current state that it's in, but that's exactly what a race situation is like, even in the fully fleshed out Path of Exile 1. You have 1,000 skill combos you can use, but the ladder's using 3 combos, right? Or 4, and that's it. So it's kind of, I've enjoyed the comparison when I was thinking about that. I'm like, oh, it's the one state of Path of Exile 2's beta where, it's sort of kind of normal. I'm curious, though, what the boss situation is going to be like. I'm curious how many people have, like, how the vanilla experience is going to work for some of these people, or if that's going to, bosses and stuff like that, or maybe the skills, the 3 skill combos, 4 skill combos that people are going to use are just good enough to annihilate no matter what. Because Gears is in a weird state too, right? Like, do people know down pat how the vendor system works while leveling? I don't know, maybe.
I mean, the people who are going to win do. The thing is, like, the event is fun and anybody obviously can play in it, but it was the same with so when I played in the beta, though, you have to remember there were way, way, way less people playing. So you actually had like a shot at winning. Like the buddy of mine won one. I remember being really close to winning a demigod one event. I would never have a chance now. The player base is way too big. People are too good at the game. So there is a part of this that is also probably a little bit of self-promo because they're going to get people back to streaming it and a reason to stream it and to, build it up. So, and in the end, if you're going into it for fun, just to see how you do, I think that's how you should treat it. I don't think many people should go into it thinking they're going to win a demigod because I think there's just, I don't know how many they're giving out, but I feel like it's unrealistic unless you're just really, really good at it. But again, for me, it's just fun. It's a flashback a bit to the PoE 1 beta. That's what I thought when I first saw it. My first thought was also like, really? This is what you guys are doing? But also, why not? I mean, there's no way this can cause that much extra work for them to do. It gives something back for people to come in and try and play. For me, it's a bit of a flashback to the PoE 1 beta days. And it gives them some breathing space to just keep working on 0.2.0. So I don't see, I literally can't think of anything wrong with it because I just want to see what 0.2.0 is. I have no interest in doing the race.
Yeah, I'm not going to do the race either, but it's not like it takes the entire team to put this event together. It's just separate league. Off you go. And then the stats will tell you what's what.
Yeah, cool. When are they doing that?
I don't know. You heard it here first, folks.
Oh, they have a bunch of them.
March 2nd or something,
March 2nd, right? March 9th, March 16th.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
And Path of Exile 1, of course, is getting a lot of traffic now, of course. Path of Exile 1, after PoE 1 players were told they weren't going to get any attention for a while, and now all of a sudden it's like, it's just all the communication's gone. They're going full force on PoE 2, but all of a sudden they're like, nope, we regret everything we said. I think that's good. It's like
they learn their lesson. Hopefully we move on from there.
And like we said it last week, I mean, still there's been very little talk with the exception of this recent announcement of the PoE 2 race. Communication wise, it's been all PoE 1 and almost nothing PoE 2. But, you take a step back from your excitement. You're like, obviously they're working on PoE 2, so who cares? But now Path of Exile 1's getting all the attention again. It's getting all the traffic again, or the majority of the traffic, I would assume. These 19 new ascendancies are just a wonderful breath of fresh air. People are having a great time chatting about what they're going to be playing and doing. And of course, people started yesterday. Didn't even cross my mind to play. Like, I remembered and I'm like, No, I'm gonna play another game of Age of Empires. Well, because I'm doing chores too at the same time, right? Like I set up my villagers and it's all automated, and then I set up 100 archers to go stand on my wall, and then I go and like do the dishwasher and then fold the laundry, and then I come back when I hear because I'm getting attacked, right? So it's a good game for that.
They brought out 2 new uniques. I saw they teased 2 new.
For PoE 2.
For PoE 2,
yeah. Yeah. For whenever the 0.2 patch comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be playing? So you said you're not going to be playing the PoE 2 race, right? That doesn't interest me either.
Mm-hmm.
But does Path of Exile 1's fun ascendancy system, Phrecia, what are we going to call it?
Phrecia. It's Phrecia. For me, it's Phrecia.
Like
I don't
Phrecia?
care what anybody else calls it. I'm calling it Phrecia.
All right. Does that interest you enough to reinstall it and play?
It's still installed. I never uninstalled it. But no, not right now. I don't think. I mean, I will play it. I would like to play it in a private league, like we are hoping to be able to do, but we don't have any timeline on that. But
is it Settlers or is it standard? Do you know? Like not standard, but does it include Settlers or does it exclude Settlers?
You mean like what they will be doing? I have no idea.
With Phrecia that started yesterday.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I actually don't know if you went to play Phrecia right now. Are you still in the Settlers 325 or whatever it is? I would think so, but I'm honestly not sure. So I don't know how they're planning on doing it.
But yeah,
in private leagues right now, you can still only pick either standard or Settlers.
Thank you for checking. I checked as well earlier. I was hoping that would change, but looked like you were right. So the bet for nothing you won. Congratulations.
What was that one on?
Oh, just if we would be able to, just the wording of
there's
if private leagues would be available or when, all that kind of stuff. It was, I translated it one way, you translated another way. And, English is only our primary language. So, it can get confusing.
I hope they give
sometimes.
some more details on when that will come, but I doubt that's at the top of their list. So.
Mm-hmm. So, but if a private league is something that you're interested in playing with our community, Justin and I said last week, we will put one on. Mm-hmm. But we don't know when that announcement from them is coming. So, and this isn't to promote our Discord.
Yes, it is. Get on
whether
our
it's
Discord.
big or small, it doesn't matter to us. But join our Discord now if joining our private league interests you, because we're just going to post it in the announcement. We don't know how much forethought GGG is going to put into a post saying, "Hey, just FYI, now you can do private league stuff." We don't know when that's going to fall in the week or where Justin and I are going to be. So we might just start a private league with only a few days notice, but that might be in between shows. And just with how it all works together, Justin and I don't really like to do private leagues longer than 10 days. Don't really like to do them shorter either. So it's going to be a 10-day event. And if you listen to the podcast and there's only 3 days left in the private league, but you were excited about it. So just join now if you can, and then you'll see it. Mute us all if you're not interested in chit-chatting. I know sometimes people suck, so we don't.
Not
but,
us.
Nor our community. But anyway, but you're going to play the private league whenever we do it.
I will play the private league. I can't see myself playing the... to be honest, though, I haven't given it a fair shake at all. I still have not looked at what the ascendancies are.
It's since a lot, man.
It's
like
just
19
it's so much to
new
read.
ascendancies. Yeah. It is a lot.
I would need to have some... I don't know. Like, it's just so much to read through to try and figure out what I would want to go back to play right now. So I just... Yeah, it's just mostly on me. I haven't really given it a fair shake. I haven't gone through them since I saw the thing where you could I'm drawing a blank to the blue guys that you could become, or there was some ascendancy that was focused on
Harbinger.
Yeah. Since that first thing, I don't think I've seen anything. I know I've seen the word puppeteer a lot, and I know you've talked about it, but I have no idea. Is that the +4 zombie thing? Okay.
Yeah, it's a Templar ascendancy. And it's neat because I went through just a few to check. So just on a side note, PoE Planner is completely up to date now for both. Like, you can choose this version of Path of Exile where it has all the alternate ascendancies. You can fully build your tree and shape it out. It has all the stats. Cool. It's working functionally for the new 19 ascendancies. Of course, the regular ones, but it's also completely up to date with Path of Exile too. Now, I was excited about it, and I just finished emailing them and being like, "Hey, just curious if this is in." They're like, yeah. And then they actually emailed me back from my email from a while ago, being like, "Hey, just FYI, we just implemented it." And I noticed it beforehand. I'd already checked it out. And so I've already made my puppeteer build on PoE Planner, but it's awesome. And the reason that I really like PoE Planner, is it's such a good mobile experience. It really is. Like the mobile version of PoE Planner is so good. So you can take it on the road if you're on the bus and you got PoE on your mind. It is really good. And no, I don't actually make PoE Planner. I don't get anything from it. I appreciate a mobile friendly Path of Exile experience, and that's honestly the only mobile friendly, with the exception of like the POBB links. If you click on the link instead of like copy and pasting into Path of Building, if you click on the link itself, that's actually a nice visualization for build planning. You can't edit it well, but it's good for viewing. Anyway, the Puppeteer is like, I went through and I was looking at some of the different ascendancies, and they're still nicely themed. Like, you're like, oh, I could see Tim.
What is happening? What is the noise it's making? He's walking away angry. I'm going to make a break here.
It's not the first time your phone has gone up. I was in here. It's okay. It's been dinging. During the podcast, I'm like, I put it on DVD. That's my wife's phone. Anyway, found it.
Nice job, Aaron. I originally had made a note to take that out, but I'm going to leave it in.
My kids like having something funny to record, and then it's my wife's ringtone. So my daughter, she just thought of being like an annoyed teenager, so she recorded, "Oh, come on, Mom."
Oh, that was
and
what
then
it was.
that's
Come on,
what it
Mom.
was.
That's awesome.
Whereas my son, he's a lot more of a goofball, and he loves his cats, and he has like a little cat. You know, when people have pets, they have their voices they do for them. So he has this little saying that he used to have with his cat that's supposed to be really cute, and it's super goofy, but it's he's saying Buddy likes to sniff. Like, so he's referencing his cat, but he has it in like this cat voice that he does. Buddy likes to sniff. And so all of a sudden my wife will have that going off nonstop at her place of employment. Anyway, sorry for the interruption. So, but when you're looking around at the new ascendancies that they have for Path of Exile 1, you're like, I could see a Templar being that. Or like, oh, that's what they made the occultist. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. And even some things like a Templar being given access to having an extra curse. Like, yeah, okay, I could see like an evil Templar going that way. That's pretty cool, right? So, there's all still kind of thematic. So if you, instead of going through the 19 ascendancies, if you just kind of thought like, I'm in the mood for like one of the few Templar archetypes or a witch archetype or a ranger archetype, like you'll still get something that suits that experience. That still might not interest you, but it's not just completely random where you're getting like a full-fledged minion build with your champion type of thing. So
my personal feeling is just that they're not most likely sticking around in any way, and they are not Path of Exile 2, and I wanted to play Path of Exile 2, so that's why I didn't really spend much time looking in them. But as soon as they say that it's coming out for private leagues, then I will probably pay attention. But up until then, I don't see myself.
Sure,
I don't see myself doing it. So, yeah.
What
are the ascendancies you're taking for this Puppeteer?
Oh, let me.
Because I'm also slowly
asking about one of my builds. What? He is sick.
I'm also
because he already knows it's zombies, and still.
Let's go through this, and then we're gonna have to wrap it up because I'm not.
Yeah. I gotta go. My dog's gotta get to the vet. I'm not leaving for you, Justin. I'm leaving for me. All right. Clicking on Puppeteer. Oh, hang on. Got to click on Update. Hello, PoE Planner. It's nice to see you. Yeah, use the mobile experience. I can't get rid of the ads anymore. That sucks. All right. So for the Puppeteer, do you have it up?
No, just tell me.
No, okay. Awesome. So one really nice thing about this, the travel nodes for these, actually for all 4 nodes that I'm taking, the travel nodes give +7 to chaos resistance, my chaos res, right? So all of a sudden that's 28 because that's going to be 4, and 10% increased minion life.
Okay.
So there's going to be 28% chaos res to me and 40% increased max life for my minions, which is awesome. So with the Puppeteer, the first major node that I'm going to take is zombies don't require a corpse to be raised. Sploosh, right? But your zombies also count as corpses. Okay, so for corpse exploding, strong boxes, stuff like that, you know.
Wait, that means
run
an enemy
away.
Corpse explosion could still blow up your zombies?
I would assume so. but then I can res them really easily again, with the exception of them. Like I'm going to have
max
shield on.
life. Couldn't they kick your ass?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So anyway, it's going to be great for that hardcore
Could it also
experience.
hurt
And you
the
betcha
enemy
I'm
too?
going, what?
Could it also hurt the enemy too? If the enemy casts something like Detonate Dead and it detonates the zombie, does that also do damage to the enemy?
I don't know.
Well, it better.
Well, we're going to find out.
I can't. I would love to
I'm
watch
doing
you
this no
just
matter
die
what. This
from
is
your
the
own
only thing I'm
zombies.
playing this for. If it ends up being like, we'll find out how often that situation
Sure.
shows up. And
Yeah.
I'm definitely not doing something like, who are the guys that I used to really like on the Atlas passive tree? Oh no, the Atlas passive tree is different now. But you know those like the rogues.
They changed the Atlas passive tree too.
Oh yeah. The Atlas passive tree is gone. They have this.
The
We
new
mentioned it last
system.
week. The
I didn't look
new
into that
like
at all.
it's almost like
Right.
you're just like adding modifiers to your global experience. Is what
I see. I need to
read
look
it
at
at, but I
that.
didn't pay attention to it. I'll figure it out once I get there. I'm not
Yeah.
going to get there anyway. Well, yeah, I am because this
You
isn't
will.
hardcore. That's right. This isn't
Yeah.
the private league. This is just a league start.
It's just for fun.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not so fun. So there's that one. But then also, so zombies don't need a corpse. They count as corpses, but I also get 1% increased movement speed
Is this
for
on the
nearby
same note?
corpses. Yeah.
Sorry.
So
okay,
I
what was that
basically
last part?
get
1%.
I get 1% increased movement speed for each nearby corpse.
Okay.
My zombies count as corpses, but
Yep.
then of course, if I'm using offerings or whatever else as well, right?
Nearby
there's
is
that.
like 4 meters
I
or
can't
whatever.
use
Right?
offerings.
Why?
I can't use an offering. Ah, that's right, because offerings consume corpses.
Wouldn't it still work? If it's a corpse, it just consumes the corpse.
Right. My zombies gone.
But then you just resum.
But then they're resummoned after the offering's gone off, so it doesn't apply to them. So
I see. what you're
offerings,
saying.
I forgot about that. Hey, sweet. I get 2 new skills. Sweet. Okay. And then, so the second one after that is the one where all raised zombie gems are +4 level, and just for fun, 25% increased raised zombie size.
Okay.
All right. So that's cool.
Mhm.
So then the other route that I'm taking, it's the same small nodes, right? 7% chaos res, 10% increased max life. So the next one I get is I gain 20% of my max life as extra maximum energy shield.
Mhm.
That one's fun. That used to be a really fun body armor node that they removed. And then also minions gain 20% of max life as extra maximum energy shield. And that's nice because that's also, unless I'm getting it mixed up with what used to be on the tree, that was on the tree. Yep. Under grave intentions, minions gain 20% of max life as extra energy shield. So now they'll have 40%, right? But one thing that I love having on my minion builds is energy leech support. So supported skills have 2% of damage leached as energy shield. But of course, it gives you damage for it. But I love now that they're getting 40% of their max life, which is going to be big for me as energy shield. I love that they're just gaining 2%. Right. So I like that combo. And then the last node that is going to happen, because ascending surprisingly sucks less in Path of Exile 1 than it does in 2. The last one is nearby enemy monsters have at least 20% of life reserved.
Oh, so they just lose 20% of their health.
Right. But that's
Nice.
nearby enemy monsters. Like, you talk a pinnacle boss, it's only has 80% life.
Yeah, it's like
That's
a cult.
huge.
You're like built in
permanent.
with,
Like, you don't
Mhm.
even have to, like, yeah. Anything can do it though, like dots, anything. It doesn't have to be from a specific culling hit. Like,
I'm
that's
just saying
great.
the call, it's the same value. You're removing 20% of an enemy's health. That's awesome.
Actually, I think that's just the Slayer. Culling Strike, I
Yeah,
think,
calling's
is
only
10%.
10. Yeah.
Yeah. And culling
what
is
does the-
different in, I think they did a great job with culling Strike in Path of Exile 2. They did it based on
Yeah,
rarity,
ranged on them.
which I think is really, really smart.
What does
Anyway, that's what I'm going to do.
plus levels to zombie give you? Is it just more life?
The game doesn't tell you. Are you kidding me?
No,
You have
but it's
no
in the
idea
wiki.
what +4. No,
Yeah,
it's not.
It's not?
You have no idea how much damage your minions
No,
do.
I'm not talking. I'm just asking.
with
Yeah, okay. I'm not talking damage, but I was just curious if raise zombie. I can't even spell. What is it?
like,
Plus
there's nothing
4?
that tells you. You just assume it gives more life, and you assume it gives more damage. The game doesn't tell you, and neither does the wiki.
So the wiki, you do get a percentage max life, and if you could get to level 25, then you would get 1 extra zombie. So if you're getting a guaranteed 4,
Right. Yeah.
What do you mean?
No, I know. Yeah, if you get to 4, but you only need +1 to spells or minions, and
now you get
up
7.
that extra 1.
And I mean, between level 20 and let's say level 25, that's 8% max life increase from 40%. From 38% to 48%. So 10% more life that they would have.
Yep.
I don't know how it works damage wise, but
yeah, I mean, hopefully it's better. But yeah, so it's cool, it's exciting, and the only thing that's the red flag is, of course, your minions counting as corpses.
You got a bunch of bombs.
I use Meat
you.
Shield because I learned the game and I'm a lot safer when I'm close in combat. I find that I see things better. So Meat Shield is always one for me. I also like the taunt, but who is it? Chaos? No, the Stone Golem always taunts anyway. So if you didn't need your physical damage mitigation, which I do, I always go the Chaos Golem route because as a witch, I want that physical damage mitigation. But if you go Stone, then it just automatically taunts anyway, right? Whatever. Anyway, cool. That's me, and I'll probably be doing that today.
You gonna try that tonight?
It's my birthday, specifically today, and I'm not like a birthday guy, but my wife and I like to beat each other. No, everybody look at me. No, but my wife and I like to be each other's like super slave, I guess you could say. Like it's your day. Anything you want, I'll do it. You want me to run around the moon? I'll get it. Like, we like to do that. So I might take advantage today because I've already got her on PoE 2. Right. And like the change, her build stuck. She can't progress any farther. The bosses are just in a stupid state for her melee build. And so waiting on whatever changes whenever they come, of course, patiently waiting. But I already have her hooked on PoE 2. Like she knows it's going to be a good game at some point and that she's going to like it. But I don't have her hooked on Age of Empires. So I might take advantage of today and be like, hon, I'll let you play on PC. But we're playing Age of Empires today.
That would be pretty fun.
Oh, man. If I could hook her on Age of Empires, then I've just basically changed my wife, who I originally started dating 20 years ago, into just a female me. We've gone into like Formula 1, baseball, Path of Exile, except she's the one that got me into RPGs in the beginning. Fallout 3, her introduction of Fallout 3 for me was what changed my gaming world.
If you play Age of Empires, just teach her how to build walls because Tyler doesn't build guys.
No, I'll do the walls, man. We'll do the mountain range. So
you're actually way better now. Like way better.
I still don't have guys early.
Like, you're decent.
My strategy now is I'm going to have like 10 barracks. But I'm not going to have any guys.
Not ready to go
not
yet.
Until I get attacked. When I get attacked, that's when I'm going to start pumping them
as long as you got walls,
otherwise I'll use.
You got time.
Yeah, you betcha. Actually, I don't even like the Mongols anymore. I've tried them again yesterday.
What are you playing now? Primarily,
I have a. It's tough because like Siege is so valuable in that game. Like it is so
you can't
valuable
win without it in the end.
No, well, it's really tough, and I have a big. The Byzantine are by far the best, but I'm just not in the mood for that micromanagement so often, and like dealing with
planning out where you place things, and then you put it in the wrong spot. You're like, son of a
right.
That's one thing I did like about
so
them.
frustrating. But they have that extra resource of olive oil, which is so
it's nice for getting quick guys.
Well, even just in general, like when the game's going long enough and people are running out of resources, you can still make anything you want. You can make royal cannons that only the French have. You can make longbowmen that only the English have. Like you can be still crazy. You're not out of anything, right? But it's just not the fastest route when resources are available, but you already have resources. But they can also make guys in like half the time. Any guys, they can make them in half the time, research in half the time, extra defense. Their villages are insanely resourceful, all because of the cisterns. It's nuts. But my favorite is the Order of the Dragon, where they have the gilded versions, right, where the military count as ×2 population. They're my favorite, but not guaranteed gold all the time. And then the Japanese and both versions of French are the ones that I rock back and forth. But I'm always in Order of the Dragon mood.
Sweet. Well, I hope you guys have fun. I hope you play together. That'd be pretty fun to hear about. We got to wrap.
I'm sorry you're having a rough time, man. Yeah. Get out of
here. Forever Exiled 281. I'm just an AK Tags.
And I'm Tyler, Wrecker of Days.
Patrons will catch you in After Dark. Everybody else will see you next week in 282. Hopefully you're enjoying Phrecia or whatever else you're doing in the game. If you're looking for more information, find down below. We got a website, foreverexiled.com. We have the best Discord. You should be a part of it. Super fun. And Patreon are the way to support the podcast. You'll find them down below and around everywhere else. Bye.
Bye, bye, bye. Probably sounds exactly like them. Hey, was I supposed to be recording this whole time?